What if I told you a cop in your community was busted for a DUI? We have the video. And he was armed. We have the video. And he is still a cop in your community. All right, let's go to it. Here it is.
Can't fucking 11, 15-year-old man. Wake up. Wake up.
Banging on your windows right to the point you're gonna break them, and you still weren't responsive. Had to open your door and give you a strong rub. Still not responsive.
Do you have any recent head trauma or any TBIs, traumatic brain injury?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. When?
10 months ago.
Okay. Do they affect you to this day?
My hands shake and sometimes my eyes have resting nystagmus.
Okay.
Put up the picture, the mug shot, bull mask. So I will give you one guess as to which state this can occur. You are correct. State of Florida. Second, this is a Florida deputy. He continues to work and abuse citizens after he was found passed out, drunk, in a car loaded with guns. Had a loaded gun by his side. Monroe County Sheriff's Deputy Jonathon Lane was allowed to keep his job after he was found in that condition in 2023. Footage also revealed himself to be a lying hypocrite when he yanked a man out of his car in 2024 for not complying within seconds of demanding his driver's license. Isn't that ironic? We've covered individuals on this show who did not immediately answer the call to come out the car, or they were asleep because they were just sleeping. They did not have a DUI issue. And all of a sudden the police break the window, grab him. We have one story where the cops decided to shoot the individual because he did wake up and they assumed he was going to shoot them. Okay? So this cop is alive, 2023. 2024, he decides to engage in, I don't know, I guess an extreme version of what could have happened to him, but did not. So in 2024, Officer Lane presented himself as a stickler for the law. This was during the October 2024 arrest, insisting on immediate obedience from the man by pulling him out of the truck before the man even had a chance to place the truck in park. As a result, the truck continued rolling down the street with the man's family inside, while also towing a boat. The man had been pulled over for driving too slowly. Lane then pulled out his taser and told the man to put it in park now, while still pulling him out of the truck. Lane then accused the man of committing battery on a police officer when the video shows that never happened. Put Deputy Lane back up again. Lane, you should have taken a DUI test that day. He pulls the man out of the car. The car is driving without the man having control of the car, and the man's family is on the inside. The man ended up spending the night in jail for 2 felony charges. The man's wife explained to the deputy that her husband had actually suffered a traumatic brain injury, which made it difficult for him to process the information and could have been the reason that he did not comply within milliseconds of the deputy barking orders. Quote, the problem is, when I tell somebody to give me their ID and they say no, that is a refusal to identify, Lane explained to the man. We have the footage from that arrest. Here it is.
Hello, hi, I'm Deputy Lane with the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, how can I help?
So we got called to Sunshine Key about you, and then on the way up there, I saw you going 15 miles an hour. And
my hazards on, correct?
Okay, that's not legal. You can't do that.
Can do what?
You can't drive that slow under the speed limit.
It's a safety hazard.
It's a safety hazard for you to be on the road driving that slow under the speed limit, correct? Do you have your driver's license on?
So I need to get to this lane. Can we get it off of this? I work here.
Okay, fantastic. Good for you. I need your driver's license.
For what?
Okay.
This is,
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Unlock the car and get out now.
Hey, calm down.
Get out of the car now.
Calm down. I am getting
here.
out.
You want to stop? You want to stop and grab me?
I'm getting out. Oh, my truck.
In the truck in the park.
Yes, I am.
Put it in the park now. Put it in the park now.
You do start.
Put it in the park now.
It is in park.
Okay. So that escalated because of the cop only. The man was driving slowly because he had his family and was pulling a boat. Let's talk about Lane's arrest. So the cop, his hypocrisy was exposed in the video of his own arrest on April 29th, 2023, when he was in violation of the law by being passed out drunk in his car at a gas station at 2 a.m. with a loaded gun in the console. The video also shows Deputy Lane telling the arresting deputy that he has also suffered a traumatic brain injury that affects his nerves and his eyesight. But Deputy Lane showed little empathy for the man he arrested after learning he also suffered a traumatic brain injury. Traumatic brain injuries are also known to cause aggression, irritability, and impatience, which can lead to police abuse and unlawful arrest. Deputy Lane's hypocrisy was further exposed when he refused to submit to a breathalyzer himself. That's according to the police report. In Florida, this is a mandatory and lawful order punishable by the suspension of one's driver's license for a year if they simply refuse to do the breathalyzer. Why? Because it's implied consent. Implied consent is if you have the privilege, not right, of a driver's license, you have implied consent to make sure the roads are safe. Nevertheless, online court records from Monroe County shows his case was marked, quote, confidential. Confidential? Wait a minute. How can a case in a local jurisdiction become G14 classified? So his case is confidential. May 4th, 2023, less than a week after his arrest, preventing citizens from accessing the court files, which are normally considered public records in the state of Florida. Atlanta Black Star reports that a Facebook post from March 2024, less than a year after his arrest, shows that he was actively working and driving his patrol car, so his license was likely never suspended. This is the cover-up of cover-ups. It is such a cover-up. They literally classified the arrest, the file, and the corresponding documentation of his incarceration confidential. That had nothing to do with him. That had everything to do with their organization that they're trying to protect, the corruption within. And this is the reason why many people have an us and them relationship and mentality as it relates to cops. This doesn't make sense under any circumstance. Here's why this should be important to you, especially if you stay in this community in Florida. Number one, the cops are telling you they don't give a damn about you, okay? This is about accountability and responsibility. There are security firms, security guards could not get away with doing this and still keep their jobs. But this guy not only got away with doing it, but then ends up abusing citizens after the fact. They then further decided to assault you by creating a confidential classification for his arrest record when there was no need to. He wasn't on assignment. He's not an undercover cop. There was no need to protect him. There's no judicial order to do so. He wasn't part of some task force that required secrecy for the operation. He was simply drunk on the side of the road. Now, if the cop has a problem, if the cop has a problem, he can get help. This is separate from that. And the department does him a disservice and you in the community a disservice when they don't treat it as such, because he's free to do this again and something bad actually happens. All right, Jackson, thoughts here?
Well, I mean, let alone this guy having access to a badge and a gun. He's a general danger to the public as an alcoholic who's regularly behind the wheel. I remember, I was like 25 or something like that up in New Jersey. I got pulled over, and that was before weed was recreationally legal. But that aside, they had me do like all the DUI tests and stuff like that. I blew a 0.0 twice, and they still took me in and gave me a DUI. Luckily, I was able to get a lawyer, so they could get me out of it. But I didn't even know I had blown a 0.0 until I got a lawyer. But this guy can still keep his job. And put his picture back up real quick, Jordan. Go ahead and put him up. This guy, don't he look like H.P. Lovecraft, if you know what he looked like? He looked like Vecna from Stranger Things before he went through that transformation. He just is no good. All the pigment and melanin then faded and turned his heart black. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he looked like. But jokes aside, as you pointed out, there's just really no reason for this guy to still be on the force. And, why would anyone in his area want him to have a badge?
Yeah, he must have put a spell on the chief of police or something.
He must have.
Yeah. All right, we'll bring you updates if something comes of this. Obviously, the people in Florida, we encourage you to speak out.